Hello and welcome to Michelle's Life on Repeat. I'm Michelle and I'm here today to tell you about my rootless orchids. Yep, I have some. Cheers. I found a new drink that I like. We played for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free. I have some orchids, which you recall were going downhill, and I put them into water culture and they began to grow roots. Yay! They loved the water. They kept growing. Every time I take the water away, they would go, they'd sulk, and there'd be a stop, start on that new root growth. So I decided I'm going to put them all in the leca beads and do a self-watering wicking cords throughout to help it stay constantly moist, because with chronic illness I am trying to simplify my life simplify the amount of time that it takes me to water my plants, and gives me the opportunity to go and leave for a few days if I need to. Or if I'm feeling like just hanging in my bed all day long, I don't have to worry about getting up and checking on those rootless wonders. So let me show you them. Here we have those 4 little monkeys that used to be 9, remember, and then we added in the 10th. Well, these are the final remaining 4, and they have been transitioned into leca with some water at the bottom, a semi-water culture concept. Let me show you how they're doing. They look and appear about the same on the outward side, but when I put them into the leca this weekend, there was lots of new roots, little roots, but new roots nonetheless. Now I apologize for not taking you through the process of putting them into the leca, but there's a story behind that. So let me tell you about that. As I go about showing you these orchids, I will try to weave my story in. I had a very, very bad day. You know that storybook that says something to the effect of, I'm having a terrible, very bad, no good day. I think I'll move to Australia. I think it's something like that. Don't quote me exactly on the title. But needless to say, I had one of them days. And what I do when I have those kind of days is I power through my house doing what I can do. I storm, I stomp, I put the music on loud on my earbuds, and I just have to do. My hands have to do stuff. Usually I'll power clean the house, or I'll deep scrub a cabinet that hasn't been cleaned in a while, or I'll rearrange the pantry, or, you know, take the closet and go through clothes that you don't need and start sorting them out. But on this day, a few days ago, I decided I was going to turn most of my collection into leca with self-watering wicking fibers. So that's what I did. I went about taking things apart, deconstructing them, cleaning them up, and putting them in leca. And unfortunately, my camera broke, and I was not able to film the process of that. Let's look at orchid number 2. I'm going to put this bucket underneath to catch the water and catch the leca. They are not so firmly in place because I just did it over the weekend, that I will unroot one of them and show you just what the process looks like on these one root wonders. But she does have a second leaf growing there. Can you catch that? Let me see if I'm in the right shadowing. There we go. There's the second second leaf growing. I'm so proud of her. This was the attempt all of last year. And of course these are still wrinkly because she doesn't have enough roots to really drink in a whole bunch of water. But let me slowly and gently dump her out. So she still has that one root and it's still doing well, the one with the yellow tip, growing in the leca. I have a wicking fiber that goes through it, has holes at the bottom, and I keep water in the reservoir down below for her. That is the process I went through with these 4 rootless wonders, but I also did it with most of my collection. I'd say 90% of my collection. The process is pretty simple once you figure out that you're gonna go with leca. My friend Nina over at Ninja Orchids is the queen of leca, and she has taught me a lot of things about leca. Now you can order it online through Amazon, or you might find it in your garden center, and it's a sphere of clay, and it has just enough air vents in it that it absorbs water, liquids, minerals, whatever you are submerging it in, and retains it just long enough for the plant and its roots to get what it needs. There's a whole lot I don't know about leca. I'm not the expert, but I encourage you to go over and check out Nina's channel and find out some more. If you do buy a bag of leca, you don't want to just use it. There's a protocol of boiling it, washing it, cleaning it, storing it, checking it, restoring it. There's a process involved, so please be aware of that. But now what I will do every week when I do my Saturday waterings on most of these, I am going to get some fresh water that has barely any TDS particles of minerals and salts in it, and I'm going to flush through. Whoops, just got the top of the rat. Shoot. So when you get it wet like I just did, just put it close to your mouth and blow as hard as you can, and blow that water out of the crown. You don't want it to set in the crown and rot. But I flush it through with water, making sure that all the beads get wet. Now I'm going to put a little bit of that clean water right in the bottom of my container and let her set for a week. Now I will check on her throughout the week, and if the first like maybe inch of the pellets seem to be dry, and that is where she might be growing a new root coming out of the base of the plant, then I'm going to give it a little bit more water on that top part, because she is used to sitting in water. Remember, we did 3 months of her being in water culture. She is used to water, not on the crown, but on her roots. So that is orchid monkey number 2. Number 3. She is still continuing on her new growth. These are nice and firm, and I'm excited. You can see maybe down in here. I'm not going to unroot all of these. I just wanted to show you she does have that root growing there. And if I spin her, some of these have new root tips coming right at the top, you can see, but this isn't one of them. She's working on growing that leaf, and I'm just going to leave her be. I live in the Pacific Northwest, remember, and it gets pretty, it doesn't get dried out. Let's just say there's a lot of moisture in the air, and I have humidity going in my room at about 45 to 50%. So I know that she's getting enough humidity. The plastic retains humidity, and I know she's getting enough. So I will just put her back, dump out her old water, and put some fresh water in for her. And that's as simple as that. You know, and if my string comes out, I just loop it the other way. Not a big deal. Or you could make a loop in it before you put all your pellets in there. Monkey number 8 is doing really great. Now she still looks floppy, but she's growing this whole new leaf. This was last year's production, with her only having a little bit of roots. But do you see in there, can you see that new root? Let me see if I can get my fat hand out of the way. There's a root in there. She has a couple of those like that down off the base. It's down here. She has grown down further and further, and they're reaching deep into the moisture of the water. She loves the water after having practiced being in the water culture, and that root up top is going to do its same thing, reach for the water. So I want to keep the top layer of those leca pellets wet and blow on those leaves because I got water up there. But she's happy. I'm happy, she's happy, it's a good thing. Let us dump out her old water and get her some new water. So don't give up on your rootless wonders. It may take a while, but that's okay. Here we have number 10. Look at that for the win. Let me get the angle right. Oh, excuse me. And when you dump your bucket of water over, it's good to have yourself a little handy dandy Bissell cleaner-upper. So, when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Or when life gives you a bucket of water, you can Bissell up your floor. Well, since I managed to give you guys a beautiful display of how to dump over your bucket of water and then how to clean it up off your carpet, let me show you the plant number 10 that fell out of her container. Those are her beautiful, beautiful roots. Started with one. Slow and steady. This was November that we started her in a water culture. Now I'm going to put her back in the leca. You guys see those two little pointy nubs? Let me get closer. Those are new roots. See if it will focus. Those are new roots getting ready to poke through. So as rough as I've been with my dear sweet plants, as many times as they've fallen off the shelf onto the floor, they're having mercy on me and growing new roots. So there we have the 9 little monkeys, now down to 4 in their leca pellets. I've spilt so much water and so much leca all over my floor. It has been one of those weeks, and today is just par for the course. Maybe I should add a little something to this drink. Until we talk again, cheers!